explained that these fungi, shallow or deep ridges running from the underside of the funnel down into the stem. You can see that very clearly in this one, okay? Now, to continue with this one, okay, and these are called the coral fungi, and these are called the coral fungi. Okay, and they are called the coral fungi because the erect, branched, the pseudocarp, this one I mean, is called the erect, branched, pseudocarp, the erect, branched, pseudocarp, okay, of some resemble, as a matter of fact, resemble the coral growth, resemble the coral growth. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about, did you follow this? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to move what is known as the tooth fungi. Okay, just give me a second here. The tooth fungi, the black and white picture, okay? Because this is the one, if you look to this one here, the one I showed you before, this one looks the coral, and this one known as the tooth fungi. This one, do you see that? Okay. Now, of course, in the color one, they look like this. Some of them are very beautiful. Okay. And white in color, they look like this one here. Hello, good day. You see that? Okay, just give me a second here. I don't know, I couldn't get this inside here. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the normally? How are you normally doing it?
That's the same way.
Same way.
The same way. I connect here.
Okay.
I do this, and then of course I will click on my what you call, but it seems not coming here. Okay.
See.
Okay.
Give me a sec. You can talk to your.
And usually when I click here, just if you click on this one here, it comes the what you call every camera. Yeah. But I don't see it. So it seems not connected for some reason. Came in the beginning but didn't show. I don't know why. I don't know if I put it on and off. If I click it in. If I switch it off in the beginning and just click on again.
Yes.
Okay.
You just got to make sure it's coming through that.
Yeah, because it's not coming. That's the reason why.
Where is that in?
This is it. Yeah. This is from here. Yeah. And that basically with electricity.
I've played with this camera, so I. No, you're not sharing the screen, right? You will once you're set up.
Yeah, but normally every was every day, for some reason or how. I don't know why. Yeah, that's to increase. I switched off and on. You want to switch from here?
No, it's the power getting there.
I thought maybe it will. Sometimes maybe they do so from that small screen. If there's something to connect, I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is I can't see anything. It's not selecting anything.
No,
Not even letting you turn it on and off.
that's it. Usually it was off and just put it on and that's it. And I switched off from here on, yeah.
Yep, I just want to wait, make sure. Is this the right power supply?
Yeah, that's what.
That was the one that was with it?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah, this is power supply is not working, and that's why one day I connected this. I can use the bar again, just in case. It's coming there? Yeah.
Yeah, now we got it.
Oh, yeah, it's coming now.
Yes,
All right, good.
we're good.
All right, yeah, it's all right.
Probably just needed to be
Yeah, okay.
reset for you, sir.
Well, it's always set there. Okay, thank you. Maybe that's connection sometimes.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to see? Oh, you're okay that way, right? Or
Yes,
do you
yeah.
See it here?
No, that's fine because I can see it here or there. I can see it on that small screen there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry I couldn't get you going quicker.
What means cooker?
No, everything good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, shows.
So you're okay?
Yeah, I can show it here. I guess. Give me a second here. Yeah. Now it's coming. You see?
Yes. Now it sees it.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Usually, okay. All right, I can see it there. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, should you be able to see it there?
You want to see? Okay.
No, but normally do you see it there?
No.
Okay, I just want to know because I haven't used that particular item with it. So
Okay.
I know Pat set it up for you or Francis, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, very
Okay.
good.
Good day. Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem, sir.
Okay, sorry for this now. I guess you can see it now here, okay? Good. So now we're going to continue in our lecture here, the way you just here, okay? So as I mentioned, we're talking about the tooth fungi. All right. Do you see it now? I'm asking you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll make sure that, okay. And basically they belong, the tooth fungi as a common name, they belong to the Latin name or to the family called Hydnaceae. Okay. And the example, just to use for called Hiericium or Hericium. That species showed to you. Okay. Coralloides. Okay. Simply I mentioned in this one here basically that the reason they call it tooth fungi because of this, because the sporophores, okay, sporophore has a porous surface. Has a porous surface, okay, and the walls of the pores okay, extending irregularly Okay, extending irregularly. Like teeth. So that's the reason why we give them this name known as the tooth fungi or the teeth fungi. Okay. Now this species as mentioned to you, the Hyraceum species or the Hyraceum species. I mentioned to you here is a common species. Okay, which produces beautiful large, pure white branched fruiting bodies. Okay. And basically some time, of course, which appears on a tree stumps and in cavities of the tree trunk and in cavities of the tree trunks. Okay. Okay. And now, after we finish this one, then going to move to the what you call. These are basically at the end of what we call. We talk about the Hymenomycete. Now, we're going to move to the other group, which is of the holobus, known as the Gasteromycetes. And of course, as I mentioned to you, that these group, as a matter of fact, the Gasteromycete, they have their basidia, but they are not in a hymenium layer. Okay. Now. In general, in this group of the Gasteromycete, and to talk about a few lines here, of course, what we call their fruiting body or the basidiocarp, they are, to have a general talk about this, they are fleshy basidiocarp. Fleshy basidiocarps. Okay. Of fungi. And usually their mycelia, of course, they grow or ramify, is what you call through decaying stumps and lumber, to mention basidiocarp fungi, whose mycelium ramifies, they are nourished, through rich soil, through rich soil and decaying stumps and lumber. And of course, don't forget that the basidiocarp of this one, basically their basidia are not in a hymenium layer. Okay. Now we're going to have about 3 of these one here. There are quite few of them, but we're going to go. Now, the Glasteromyces, they include, sorry. The one we're going to talk about here, basically the puffballs, okay, the Earthy Stars, okay, stinghorns, okay, and also the one known as the Birdnest Fungi, Bird's Nest Fungi. Okay. As basically, with regard basically to the black and white, this is how it looks like the puffballs. Okay, I'm going to show you. We'll start with them. Okay, talk about it. Okay, and then we have, of course, I have color one. Show it to you later on. Okay. Here, and then we have. I'm going to talk only about 3, and then we have what you call the Earthy Star. The Earthy Star basically simply it looks like a puffball, but what happened? It has 2 layers, inner layer and outer layer, and what it called the outer layer has fissure, and when the moisture goes, they will peel, and in the end it looks like a star. So that's called the Earthy Star. And the other one I'm going to talk about, which is known as the Birdnest Fungi, basically the periodils and basically what look like what you call a nest of eggs. So basically, and these are basically going to talk about, because also they have a very interesting way how to disperse their what you call spores. So these are the 3 I'm going to talk about. I'm going to start first with the puffball. Okay. Called puffballs. Okay. Now they belong basically the puffball. They look like this one here, as you can see, the large one. Some of them they get very large, as you can see, like this one here, if you can see it. Okay, looks very large, as a matter of fact here. Okay, and basically they have what you call, as you can see, this opening here, which is known as ostule. Okay, known as the ostule. And of course, what happened inside it, what you call inside the puffball. I don't know if you have looked in the, and during the lab course, now they don't see the slide, but maybe they show you the picture, that if you cut it, it looks like this. Okay, and of course, it has an ostule here. And of course, it has a very thick wall, which we call the Pyridium. Okay, and inside, as a matter of fact, it has many, many chambers like this. And of course, each of these chambers with its wall, okay? And then inside the chamber, basically full of thousands of spores. So basically, sometimes what you call when the decays, and later on, basically when, for example, if an animal push on it or a stone fall on it, then what happened here, the spore will puff out, okay? And that's what we call it, the puffball, okay? So this is the one here we're going to talk about here. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, basically that the puffball in general, also they grow, the puffball, they grow, okay? As I mentioned, on tree stumps, okay? Or on decaying logs, or on decaying logs, okay? And sometimes you can see, sometimes they can, one can see, for example, just in some, on lawns or city lawns or something like that, okay? Now, basically all the species of puffballs are supposedly non-poisonous, okay? To mention that all species of puffball are not poisonous. Okay. The other thing I'm going to mention to you, just to describe already what I talk about here, that the inside of the developing puffball of developing puffball, okay, contains many minute chambers. Contains many minute chambers, okay, lined with basidia. Okay. Of course, lined with basidia, and thousands of basidiospores. Okay. Of course, sorry, I did mention that basically the family which is belong to this one here called the most common genus, as a matter of fact, this one called Lipopedium. Okay. The example I'm going to use here, put it down here, known as Lyco. This is the genus Lycopodium. Okay, which belong to the species known as Lycoperdiaceae, but that is the genus. So basically, of this one I showed you here, that. Okay. So to talk about this one, because the layer, the fruiting body, for example, the fruiting body okay, the fruiting body of Lycopodium, and even most of the time, the genus of this one also fall what you call the giant puffball, because sometimes they reach quite big, as a matter of fact. Okay, has a Pyridium. This one here has a Pyridium. Okay, composed of 2 layers. Okay, composed of 2 layers. Now, and usually the outer layer get weathered or decay. Now, and to mention this point here, now when the outer layer okay. Now, when the outer layer, as a matter of fact here, okay, weathers, okay, the inner we call the inner thin, membranous layer, okay. This one has the opening which is also, okay, provided, okay, with ostiole, which is the pore, with ostiole, okay? And as I mentioned too, that, and the spores are puffed.
Can you bring your paper down a little bit?
Just a minute, okay, like this one, I guess. Okay, you finish from this one here?
Yes.
Okay, just to take it away so that I feel more free. Okay, and when the spores are, puffed out, or puffed, when, as I mentioned to you, when an object, okay, strike the membrane. When an object strike the membrane. Of course, this object, as I mentioned to you, it could be a piece of stone, it could be an animal passing by or anything. Then the spores, of course, is okay. Strike the membrane. Sorry. Okay. Then the second one I'm going to talk about is the Earthy Star. And as I mentioned to you, basically the Earthy Star is nothing more, it's just with a puffball, but what happened here, the outer layer basically will peel along the fissures and look like what you call, look like a star, okay? Let me put this one here. Then we're going to talk about the Earthy Star. And mostly they belong as a common name to the, what you call, to the family Gastraceae, but the example I'm going to use here, called the genus Gasterium. And the family, of course, from the common called Gastriaceae. Okay. So simply to mention, basically, as I mentioned to you, that the Earthy Stars are puffball with several layers. The Earthy Stars are puffball, okay, with several, okay, with several pyridial layers. Layers, and as I mentioned to you, that the outer layer, okay, of which split, okay, along radial fissures. Okay. Radial fissures. And the same thing as in the, what you call the puffball, the inner one basically, which is going to remain, and the inner one has that opening, which is look like the ostiole, okay? And to mention the inner pyridium, okay, remains, okay, closed, okay, and provided with ostiole. Of course, the ostiole is an opening, an ostiole with an ostiole, okay, from which, of course, the spores escape. Okay. And basically, this genus I mentioned to you is the most common one. Okay, and I think, yes, okay, just, and basically, this is how.
Sir, can you move the page a bit to the right?
Say it again, like this.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and basically, at the end, this is how it looked like. Okay, the Earth Star, right? Then we're going to move to the what you call to the third one, or to the, or third example, which is basically the Birdnest fungi. Okay. We call the bird's nest fungi. Okay, I think I have a clear picture to show it to you how they look like. Okay, because they look like really exactly like a basket with their eggs inside. Okay, they look like this. See? Okay, so basically that's how they look like, and that's what we call it the bird. And these are the peridioles, but I'm going to explain it to you because of their characteristic way of dispersal. Okay. Just to talk about, of course, the sporophores. Okay. Of the bird's nest fungi, okay, are cups. That's the cup you see. Are cups, okay, that contain a small, waxy, okay, hard peridioles. As peridioles, okay, and that's what basically, and thus, as a matter of fact, resembling, okay, resembling bird's nest with egg. Okay, bird nest. With eggs. And the best example we're going to have of this one is known as the genus Caetes. Like this one here. Okay. Now, basically, the characteristic of these fungi, basically, as I told you, they have a very special mechanism, as a matter of fact, for dispersal there, what you call, or dissemination of what you call of their spores. Okay. So they mentioned this one here, that the Birdnest fungi fungi, as a matter of fact, here, okay, have developed. Okay, they have developed basically a special mechanism, okay, for spores distribution. Okay, so basically, if I explain it like this one here, okay. So basically, this is how it look like. Do you see? This is how they look like, the fungus. Okay, as you can see, the cup like this one here. Okay, and inside basically you have the peridols. Okay, and these are the peridol. So basically, the cup outside, it's represent like a splash cup. What mean a splash cup? That basically when training and train hard at a special speed, then that speed of the rain is going to what you call allow these of the peridol to what you call to jump out of the cup, and then as they jump out of the cup of the air, they expand themselves in this structure here. Did you see this structure here? You see it? Now this is known as this. Sorry about that. This is known as what you call the follicule, okay, and in this called follicule, and this is the peridol as a whole, and at the end it has here underneath it like what you call a very sticky kind of material. So what happened here, which is like this one, is going to extend like this, okay, and it's going to fly in the air. Okay, so basically, when nearby, if there is this one, if there is a nearby, for example, just to see if this can, you see, others I don't like this one. Okay, now if there is a nearby grass or a plant, then of course that you call that sticky part is going to touch it and this basically shows to you the stages supposedly when it basically splashes out. Okay. So basically, as you can see here, that basically this is the fungi, and basically this is present as a matter of fact as a rain. When the rain drop by, then as a matter of fact, the peridols will fly in the air, and when it fly in the air, it will stick around a plant, and of course the sticky part, and then the cord, and basically in the end, the peridols will what you call dangling around from here. And that is our big sum. And what happened here, I guess later on, maybe either animal eat it or anything, and it's going to repeat the cycle again. So basically that's what I want to describe because of the way they, what you call, designated their way of dispersal. So write this one here. Is that clear? Okay. As I mentioned to you, basically the cups. Okay, just make sure that you're here. Okay. The cups, okay, of the bird's nest fungi, okay. It's constructed. Okay. Constructed, okay, as a splash cup, called as okay, as a splash cup. Can you read this well now? Splash cup. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, during heavier storm, during a heavy storm, for example. Okay. When rain, okay, striking, okay, with terminal velocity, okay, with terminal velocity, basically around, say, about, say, 6 meters per second, because that is the force, as a matter of fact, able, what you call, to force these periodical to splash out, okay, per second, meter per second, okay. This force, as a matter, eject. This is J, eject. The periodicals, okay, to a distance of about 3 to 4 feet. Okay, of 3 to 4 feet. So basically, these are the periodicals which we now going to explain what you call the funnel cord, which is span. Okay. And now the other point I'm going to mention, of course, now the force of ejection. Okay, of ejection causes okay that portion okay of what is known as the funiculus cord, or the funiculus of, so that you can okay, to burst, okay, and release what is known as the funicular cord. Okay, called funicular cord. And the part which is basically is sticky, the lower part, this is known as hippeteron. So called the funicular cord and hippeteron. Okay. Now, of course, that is sticky hippeteron. To mention that, continue this one. Okay, there for that here, just okay. Then to mention, of course, that the sticky hippeteron, okay, adheres, okay, adheres, okay, to any nearby, okay, solid object. And of course, the solid object here, it could be mostly plant, herbs, whatever it is. Solid objects, okay. And by this, okay, the fungus able, as a matter of fact, to disperse its spore, okay, to distances, okay, to, you know, to different areas. So basically, this the way how this, for example, this organism or this fungus able, as a matter of fact, what you call to disperse this. Okay. You follow that? So by this, basically, I will finish what you call the example. This is all the example done, or this example, if you remember, we're talking about the basidiomycetes. Okay, all this group of the holobasidiomycete, as a matter of fact, because that group, irrespective of the shape of the cell, but basically the cell in which meiosis occur and from which the basidiospore are developed, it is only one cell. And in this holobasidiomycete, of course, which include most of the mushrooms and others, but also we group them into two. We group them with the one group hymenomycetes, okay, or ever you can put hymenobasidiomycetes, and also to the Glasteromycins. Okay, to repeat this one here, and of course already you know the difference, and we give the example. Now we will move to the order, as a matter of fact, in which they produce. Basically, the basidia is fragmented. Okay, and in this one here, of course, this is known as class. Okay, holobasidiomycete. Now we move to the other class, okay, which is known as phragmobasidiomycetes. Which is, as already I mentioned to you, called phragmobasidiomycetes, in which they produce their basidia. The example we can see of this fungi, it is basically sometimes they call it commonly known as a matter of fact, the ear fungi. Okay, but the order I'm going to mention you here, the example found in this order, known as Uricales or Ularis. Okay, and the family, of course, it is called Urucaceae. Okay. And of course, the genus or the example we're going to use here, known as Uricularia. Okay. This fungus, as a matter of fact, called Uricularia because basically it represents the ear. Okay, though I have only, in this case, I have, as a matter of fact, a black and white picture for it. This is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like, as a matter of fact, the fungus of Uricularia. Okay. And as a matter of fact, if you focus on this one here, okay, as you can see here, basically at the end here, that basically where they produce, this is basically the basidia, and as you can see, it is already fragmented. You see that? Okay, each of these cells, and then from each one cell, basically what you call a projection occur, and in the top, basically the basidiospores shows at the top like this. But these are basically the fungi which produce the basidia or fragmented basidia like this one here. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit characteristic of this one here. Okay. Simply, I'm going to this one here. This is an ear-shaped gelatinous structure. Sometimes, some of them, they may look like this one here, gelatinous. Sometimes they have very nice shapes and colors. Okay. Sometimes they look like this in the field. Okay. Different colors of the glass. But at the moment, just to describe a little bit here now. Now, this is, as I mentioned, an ear-shaped. On ear-shaped, this is, okay, an ear-shaped gelatinous structure. Gelatinous structure, which consists of binucleate hyphae bearing a clamp connection bearing a clamp connection and to mention here, and the hymenium is formed underside. Is formed on the underside. Okay. Now I'm going to explain, because as I showed you here, basically that in this fungus, as a matter of fact, in which basically the basidia is fragmented. Okay. If you look at this one here, basically, as I mentioned, of course, this is the hyphae. This is the stage of the, of course, of the dikaryon. You see this one, it has two nucleus, okay? But of course, after the karyogamy occur and meiosis, then what happened there? Then this cell, as a matter of fact, is going to show what we call vertically fragmented into four, and from each one, of course, an arm will develop, and in the end, the basidia spore will be at the end. Okay, to mention this point here. Okay, after karyogamy and meiosis, after karyogamy and meiosis, okay, and meiosis, okay, the elongated basidium, okay, the elongated basidium, as a matter of fact here, okay, becomes four-celled, means four-celled, okay, that occur, as a matter of fact, by development by the development, of course, of three transverse septa, by development, okay, of three, okay, a transverse septa. Okay, so these three, of course, in the end, you will end up 4 cells because they are, okay, septa. Then, of course, what happened here? Then after this septa, then a long arm. Okay, as I showed you, basically when you have the cell like this, septa like that. Okay, this is just a cell here, okay, and then you have 3 septa like this, become 4 cells, and then from each one, as a matter of fact, a long arm will develop, and basically the basidispore is more or less, it looks like a kidney shape like this. So that basically that's how it's going to occur, to mention it, okay? Now, then a long arm, okay, a long arm now it grows, okay, out from each of these cells, out from each cell, as I showed you here, okay, and then at the end, and the curved, and as I showed you, and the curved basidiospore, okay, develop also on a stigmata. At the tip of each of these arms, or basically at the tip, make it more, at the tip of the arm, or at the tip of each arm. Okay. Before that, so basically this is just a description of this fungi as an example of this class of basically of what you call of the phragmobasidiomycetes, in which basically after karyogyny, the cell by 3 septa will develop into 4 cells, and then from each of the cells an arm develop. Now, simply to mention at the end, now these fungi usually occur, mostly are saprobic or saprophyte, and also they grow basically, but some of them are parasitic on mosses, okay, and some on flowering plant. To mention just one line here, that most of these fungi okay, most of these fungi, okay, are saprobic. Okay, saprobic, okay. But if you are parasitic, as I mentioned, parasitic on mosses, and also and some on roots, okay, of some flowering plant, on roots of some flowering plants. Okay. So basically, this is the example we talk about of this one here. Then after that, we're going to move to the last group of this group of the what you call of the basidiomycete. Of course, now the last group is the group which form the what you call the teliospores. Okay, and all the groups for the teliospore, we call them the class teleomycete, and these are basically The class Teleomycetes is supposed to be the most important of this group for some reason, mainly because member of this, they can cause what you call a serious disease on some important crops. Okay, so we're going to talk about this one here. Okay. Second here. Now we're going to move to this class here, or because it is so large, I'm going to call it class as a matter of fact. It's better, okay? So the class, okay, Teleomycetes, okay, which simply, of course, the teleospore. Okay, just to give me a second here, just to remind you. Remember the teleospore, when I showed to you, basically, they develop what you call the telea like this, two cells, and these are the spores. Did you see that one? These are basically the teleospores. So this is basically, they develop this, and this belongs to this group, Teleomycetes. Okay? Now, in Teleomycetes, basically, we have two order, which is important order. One order is known as Uridinalis. I'm just trying to catch before this will stop here. I hate when it cuts me here. And the other order known as the Eustuloginalis. And the other order known as Eustuloginalis. Okay, just give me a second here. Okay, now the first order, the Uridinalis, basically that is the one which develop what you call the rust disease on the plant. Okay, and if you look at the picture, they call it rust because what happened here at the end when the spores are matured and they come on the surface. Okay, basically they look like rust color like this. Did you see that? Or okay, like this one here, and they grow basically on wheat or okay, so they grow, but basically they develop a lot of diseases, what you call on from the family, grass family or gramineae, but mostly like wheat, all that they can grow. There are many big things, and that's we call the rust disease. The other one, they used to Uridinalis. These basically they develop a very black spores, and they call them the smots. Okay, and mostly occur basically sometimes what you call on the corn, okay, called cornerstone. Okay, to measure this one. Okay. Now, just a few lines here, I guess left 2 or 3 minutes. Now, and the order Uridinalis, I'm going to talk about each order now. Order the Uridinalis. Okay. Now, these are known as the rust fungi. Okay, and among the most important okay, of the Basidiomycete economically because of the disease they cause. Most important of Basidiomycetes economically. Okay. And in reality, I'm going to, I will stop my note here. I'm going to finish it because I don't like this will cut me off above 1 minute. These are basically mostly are obligate parasite, means to grow them this on artificial media where SL is not successful, they have to have the host. And that's why basically they are, as a matter of fact, what you call obligate parasite. They are, as I mentioned, obligate parasite. And also they are a quite large family. Okay, they about constitute in the order about 164 genera, okay, and also include about 7,000 species. And there are many, many strain or variation of rust, okay? And there are about 7,000 species within about 164 genera. Okay, so basically I will talk with you next lecture about the best example used on the gramineae or grasses, and also we'll talk about its life cycle, because this fungus require 2 hosts in order to finish its life cycle. Okay, and did you follow the lecture okay today, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think very shortly, I think that is going to cut me off now. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Take care. Bye.